Hello, everybody, and welcome to the July 13th Public Facilities Committee meeting. We're going to call this meeting to order. The first up, can I get an approval for the minutes of the June 15th meeting?
So moved.
I have
Second.
a motion, second by Legislator Whitney. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, so ordered. Up next, we have the privilege of the floor. Okay. Seeing nobody for the privilege of the floor, we'll go into the first proposed resolution, which is to authorize the master hangar license agreement for general aviation aircraft storage at Chautauqua County Jamestown Airport. Do we have somebody to speak on behalf?
Good afternoon, all. John McNamara, Deputy Director, Airports. That's better. The resolution that you have in front of you this afternoon is in regards to Hangar A at our Jamestown Airport. And we're looking to convert that hangar, which is currently empty, into cold self-storage general aviation aircraft storage. So this resolution would authorize a master agreement that would be applicable to owners leasing space in that hangar.
Okay. And this, we did have a public hearing on last month, correct, John?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Is there any questions on the proposed resolution for John? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, so ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Proposed resolution number 2, we have the South and Center Chautauqua Lake Sewer District rates.
Good afternoon. Tom Walsh, Director of South and Center Sewer District. I don't have any maps.
No maps.
I'll look at this while you're talking.
Yeah, look at that. There you go. So, South and Center Stock Lake Sewer District, we are going to raise the rates. And the last time we raised the rates was in 2001. And in 2015, we actually did a rate restructuring. There were 5 different rate codes for the sewer district. And at that time, we standardized all rates at $88.50.
I remember that. Just saying.
Do you remember the 2001?
No,
Okay.
I wasn't born then.
Neither was I.
In 2023, we did a phase 1 sewer extension. We established that rate at $930. Going forward, we're moving into the completion of phase 2 sewer extension. And we are going to set the rate for the phase 2 and phase 1 sewer extension. The rates for both of them will now be annually $856 a year. The operation and maintenance of the the current operation for all customers is going to be $424. That's an increase of about $70, $17 quarterly. These costs are driven up by several factors that are going on currently in the sewer district. One of them that I explained, we had a public meeting, and one of the things that, as I explained, in 2015, the New York State DEC, which governs the South and Center Sewer District, our water quality, at that time we only chlorinated the effluent water for 6 months of the year. The DEC came in and said, we would like you to chlorinate 12 months of the year, and we did that. Then we had to remove the phosphorus, and in doing phosphorus removal, we added ferric chloride system, which is a chemical that precipitates the phosphorus out. Then the state came in and said we had to remove ammonia. By removing ammonia, our phosphorus removal is not as efficient, so we ended up using more ferric chloride. Then the state came back and told us, we now want you to dechlorinate. So the 12 months of the year that we chlorinate, now we have to dechlorinate 12 months of the year. So we can do that. And then the last budget, or the last contract that we put out for our chemicals, the price for our chemicals went up 100%. So this is what we're dealing with, and just some discussion of our rates are increasing. And we did at our public meetings, there were several customers that were very concerned. Everything is going up. And I said, you're right. And that directly affects the South and Center Sewer District as well. Everything is going up. But as a modest cost, I mean, it's $17 a quarter. But as far as the overall cost among the, the other residents, I mean, we're still pretty low. I mean, not to pick on the North Stock Lake Sewer District, but we're still $100 less than them. The town of Chautauqua, you're at $1,200 for your system. Village of Sherman, they're $1,000 for sewer and water. I mean, so we're still
Yeah.
working within a budget.
Well, it's only $1 and change a year of an increase from 2015, so you're still
Right. So
Not-
percentage-wise, we're not the post
Minuscule,
office.
right.
we try to keep it less than that. So, but that's where we're at.
okay. Are there any more questions for Mr. Walsh? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried, so ordered. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Up next, proposed resolution number 3, amend the 2026 budget for the North Chautauqua Lake Sewer District.
Good afternoon. Jennifer Swan, Budget Director. What you see before you is really just an accounting budgetary change. So these funds have always been, the revenue funds have always been budgeted to a sub-department that is not actually used for anything else. And while we were doing things at the end of the year last year, we were wondering why. Nobody even remembers why it was set up that way. So we figured we should move the budget towards actually being receipted, and that's exactly what this resolution does. So the revenue is being reflected in the new department that you're seeing, and it's being removed from the department that it shouldn't have been budgeted in.
Okay, so there's no actual
Correct.
dollar change to this?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes, it's budget neutral. Just matching the budget with where the dollars are actually being receipted now, so.
perfect.
Yep.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Proposed resolution number 4, amend the petty cash fund amount at the South County Transfer Station.
Afternoon, Aaron Gustafson, Deputy Director of Public Facilities Environment, Landfill Director. This resolution you see is very similar to the one you guys did last month with the DMV resolution to adjust. South County Transfer Station has a starting cash fund of $200 currently, and we're finding ourselves almost daily having to reach in and make cash, and it's causing some confusion. So this is a resolution just to up that to $400, so they're not dipping back into the till and causing confusion, counting back money from a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Our North County facility is currently at 400 already as well.
And that's sufficient for them?
Yeah, seems
Okay.
to be working.
I think this was brought up by Legislator Whitney, wasn't it? Did you say something about this last one?
No, I'm looking for a new shack for him.
New
I think
shack
it's about ready
for
to fall down.
To house the $400?
Well, half of it.
Okay, so we can talk about that at a later date, but are there any questions on this proposed resolution?
No, sir.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, so ordered. Thank you, Aaron. Number 5, authorize the agreement with the Village of Westfield for landfill leachate.
So, I don't know how many of you know, the BPU and the county landfill have a 20-year standing agreement and a leachate force main that the BPU presented to the county, and then the county paid them to build and maintain. That contract is coming up, but Currently, at the plant, they're having some issues. And with those issues, the state told them that they had to stop taking leachate. Leachate is a byproduct of a landfill, and leachate has to be treated. It can't be discharged to the environment. So we were kind of up against it here. So we scrambled and searched while the BPU are making these repairs, and found the Village of Westfield able to take our leachate for now. As a backup agreement, I'd like to add this resolution not only just for now, but for a backup agreement for the future. So they're just helping us make sure that we don't overflow our two dikes and, have a major issue at the landfill. Plus, it just happened to coincide that the BPU shut down when we had a South Leachate Basin repair project planned for the 9th of this month. We postponed it 2 weeks. We're hoping that we can still drain that pond enough to continue with the project.
This says that it was budgeted in the 2020s. Are we just not going to pay the city then and transfer that funds to Westfield? or-
Correct.
Okay.
They're not taking it, they're not getting paid.
Okay. That's fair to us anyway, fair to me. Are there any other questions on this resolution? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor, carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. And proposed resolution number 6, amend D.5112 capital improvement accounts.
Good afternoon. Tim Carr, Director of Public Facilities. Basically, this resolution is for the budget for our CHIPS funding, and with a slight increase of $418,879 in the CHIPS allocation that we get yearly. Our Pave New York was a slight decrease of $692, and the Pave Our Potholes was a slight decrease of $461. And the extreme weather recovery that we get from the state is the new funding of $841,994. And this program is not a guaranteed program like the other ones, but it's at the same level as it was for 25.
But it doesn't mean we're gonna get it next year.
Not a guarantee.
With those decreases, does that obviously cause some sort of problem with this year? Or I guess how concerned
It's
are
not
you with
that
that?
much. It's only $700 in the one and $460 in the other.
Okay.
But it's, this year, obviously, the price of asphalt and gasoline and fuel and everything is, we're doing less work because of increasing prices.
Well, at least it came in where it's at, I suppose. Are there any questions on this resolution? Hearing none, all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Any opposed? Carried. Thank you. Proposed resolution number 7, authorize the lease agreement with 310 through 322 East Third Ventures LLC.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
My microphone working here? Okay, great.
Sounds like it.
My name is Jeff Wareski, and I'm here with Joe Russa. Joe Russa is a developer, and he has quite a few properties. And what we're here to do today is hopefully explain to you how we want to finalize the lease document at 310, 322 East 3rd Street. So the one thing I want to do is I want to be able to explain a little bit about Joe Russa and why we're here. Joe Russa is the existing landlord for the county in Dunkirk at the DMV. And he's been the landlord for the county for the last 15 years. There's been a straight term lease of 10 years, and then the county was satisfied, so they exercised the 5-year option. So at the top of this exhibit is the building in Dunkirk. And before, it was Movie World. Joe Russo used to operate movie rentals, and he had several locations, and this used to be a retail structure. So with retail windows, with his Movie World logo on top, he operated it until he was bought out by Blockbuster. So when Blockbuster sold or purchased all of his locations, he got into the development business. And he's been doing that now for probably 35 years as a family-owned business. So because of the relationship with the county and Joe Russo, we were invited to help with what we now call the 3 Cs, Chautauqua County Campus. And we finally found a building at 310, 322 East 3rd, and we've done a number of things in regards to identifying it with the county symbol. And along with this building, there needs to be quite a few improvements, and I'm sure everybody is familiar with the facility. So we're here to make it a beautiful property for the county. Along with that building, which is about 85,000 square feet, there's 2 parking lots that come with it right across the street. So here's the building, there's 2 parking lots here, and then there's another city parking lot which is above it at East 4th. So with that being said, I think it's first of all, it's a great opportunity for us as a developer to come to Jamestown and do what we do best. With Joe's 35 years and my 40 years at Benderson Development, we have a pretty good record. I handled Benderson properties in Jamestown for the last 35 years with Fluvanna Avenue, doing the deal with Classic Brass, Cummins Engines in regards to what they do in their distribution. Hazeltine and Baker, Social Security was downtown, and I had the pleasure, or maybe not, of moving them to the former Quality, and I was responsible for that entire redevelopment. It's still a first-class property. So I got one more, which was pretty classic. The Verizon at Fairmont at Hickory's across from the Burger King. That was Video Factory, and now it's a beautiful, beautiful retail type building with Verizon and other tenants. So I wanted to give you a little bit about Joe and I, to give you an idea of the type of people that we are. And coming from a family-owned business as Benderson, Joe Russo being a family-owned business, we're here to really service our customers. I've learned one thing over the years. Landlords, it could be landlords, tenants. We refer to them as customers today because that's how they should be treated. And our company grew with that concept. The other thing I want to talk about is square footage. Because the building is 85,000 square feet, the first floor, which is located here, has Striders in it and also Infinity. This space right here is 20,000 square feet. 6,000 square feet for Striders, and there's about 14,000 square feet for Infinity. We know that they're part of this community. We look at the leases and we are a little bit interested in how a landlord can make that type of deal. Since they're part of the community, we understand. Joe and I have been looking at the other facilities, other buildings in the area, because if we have to relocate some of the tenants from this facility, we will. That's our commitment. We don't want to lose tenants. We want to fill buildings with customers. So the overall picture of the, I'm going to refer to them as tenants at this building. A lot of them are 30-day cancellation. Some of them are 60-day cancellation. Some of them as much as 90-day cancellation. So the question always is, well, do you have enough of square footage to give to the county in regards to what the requirements are? and we do. Even if we keep this block of space right here, this 20,000 square feet, because on the second floor, which is actually, I get a little confused because of the entrance being here on 3rd Street, makes it the first floor, and this is the entrance to the post office in regards to their retail area. This block of space right here is 20,000 square feet. This area here is another 10,000 square feet. So with the 20 and not doing anything with the post office at this time. And this 3rd floor area is also 20,000 square feet. So that's 20, that's 40, and then there's this area in here that is another, well, as I mentioned, this area here is 10,000 square feet. So this floor is 30,000 square feet, with this 20,000 square feet is 50. So the post office also has another lower area, which is 10,000 square feet. So that gives me 60,000 square feet to do what I need to do, what we need to do, in order to give the county their space without touching this 1st floor area with Striders and also Infinity. However, we're very concerned about security in regards to the different types of, I would say, the different types of clients that are going to be coming to the building. We want to make sure that everybody is going to be, safety is number one. So if Striders wants to relocate, we're going to have the facilities to do that. So I think in regards to clarifying the building, the parking, the type of landlord that we are, the square footage, I'm open to take your questions.
Which department offices are we looking to utilize? I looked a little bit at the email, but I guess while you're here in person, if you can kind of, I see a little bit on your drawings, which departments are we looking to move into this building?
Well, the departments that are looking to get into this building, I understand accumulates about 54,000 square feet. I'm not sure which departments are coming in yet. I don't know that. But I think that's going to be determined by the county.
Does he own the building now?
The
Or
building's
is he-
under contract.
It's under contract, okay.
The lawyers, the attorneys are working through everything.
Well, I'm gonna lose my indoor baseball facility, it looks like.
Well,
I'm a baseball fan too. I thought your facility that you had there was really nice.
Well, we just rented it.
Yeah.
We were there in March and April before the weather turned. Nice.
My son did that plenty of times in Buffalo, and I got to compliment you. You guys do a great job there.
Have you guys talked with Striders yet to see their thoughts, or is this the first kind of deal to everything?
well, I think in regards to approaching any of the tenants at this time and understanding what Striders does and also Infinity, being part of the community, we want to be able to move forward, possibly without utilizing their square footage at this time. Yes?
When you say that's on the first floor, does that mean if you're utilizing the doors on 3rd Street? You walk in on 3rd Street, that's the first floor?
Yes, yes, I think that's probably the most logical spot to enter, and that area also has a handicap ramp on the other side of the facility next to the post office. So it is handicap accessibility, does have handicap accessibility. So I think in regards to figuring out how the security is going to be, handicap entrances and those sort of things, I think still needs to be worked through with the county's help.
This location, was it the post office years ago?
It still is.
The post office is, post office is still there.
Okay.
In fact, Joe was born in Jamestown. His father used to work at this post office. So many, many years ago. And I think, Joe, if you want to elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, so, my family originally started out, my father worked for the post office in New York City. He looked at my mom and said, look, we'll never get a day off, ever. So or a weekend off, I'm sorry. So he was transferred to Meadville, Pennsylvania for a year, and a job opening opened up here in Jamestown. And he jumped on it, and when I mean literally jumped on it, they used to jump on the trains and put the mail out on the hooks, and that was his job. So he worked out of the Jamestown office for about 5-6 years, and then was transferred to Salamanca. So we went from Meadville, lived in Jamestown for about 5-6 years, to Salamanca. And he worked for the post office. And we started out in the Spanish Gates Apartments. Yes,
You're leaving out one thing, though.
yeah.
When you play Major League Football at?
Yeah. Yes. So my father went to Fredonia. He is a world-class musician, played the trumpet, and he decided he was going to college at 35 years old with 3 boys. And I did. I played little midget football in Dunkirk, and I know a lot of the guys on the team. We became friends. And then he was transferred. He went back to Salamanca, and I played football against a lot of the guys that were my friends in Dunkirk. So thank you, Marcus. That's right. Yeah.
If I could, for clarity, I know Legislator Anthony asked the question. What we're looking to do is to relocate the South County office building into this space. Depending on the space and the availability, we're also looking to condense the 3 properties we are occupying, the DMV, 333 West 6th Street, and the South County office building. This is a 1-block move. It stays in the city core, which is what was asked of us by the legislators representing the city of Jamestown. So when you look at the type of facility in the center core, which maintains, if not increases, accessibility to our clients, this is what we're looking at. You know, this has been talked over many, many times. So this is, you know, again, Joe brings with us, 15 years of occupancy in the, the Dunkirk DMV, phenomenal facility, and we definitely feel this is the same way. This is something that's been gone over on a couple of different times, just to make sure it's clarity. It wasn't to keep this from anyone, but just to make sure all our ducks were in a row as we go forward. So inevitably, some of the initial public-facing departments in social services would be occupying that space first. And then we would move out, progressively as, it's a very unique building. Obviously probation is in the South County office building. We've got APS, CPS, a myriad of other departments. So the transition is more and more space, whether it's the build outs or the availability becomes available, then we're going to be occupied. But the idea, prior to, with the exception of Bob, Mr. Scudder, apologize. There was a study done by CGR to reduce the county's footprint as the numerous buildings throughout the county. When I first came in, we had COVID, and since then we've been trying to correct that as we go through. We've consolidated facilities in Franklin Street and Lucas in the North County, and right now we do have things in SCA, but then we have 2 other buildings that we're trying to get everybody into this facility. So it may be, it may not, it's not all going to happen at once, but it will be transitional throughout the time.
Okay. Do we know, I guess, what we're at price-wise of what we're paying between those 3 buildings in Jamestown compared to the $105,000 a month now proposed?
Yeah, annually we're looking at about a little over 1 million to 1.2 million, depending. There's going to be some escalators in there, the contract coming up with the years. So we're looking at per square footage. It's going to be an increase of what we're paying now, correct? there is going to be an increase.
Okay. And then the parking, do you own the parking lot closest to us? The back one is a city-owned lot then?
So this is the building right here.
Yep.
So right across the street, there's a parking field, and then next to that, there's another parking field. So there's about 38 cars that are parked in this first one, and about 39 cars that are parked in this top field. In regards to the parking, we understand that there is another city-owned garage that employees can park. Also, at East 4th Street, there's another city-owned parking lot as well for additional parking.
Do you guys own those lots though, or are they owned by the city?
We own the two, the sale of the property will come with these two parking lots right here,
Okay.
which is about almost 80 car parks.
I guess.
It's our intention to improve those parking fields as well. Right now, they're blacktop, they're in rough shape. We would come in and convert them all to concrete parking lots. Less maintenance and hopefully beautify the area. And, you know, we think that with the county building there, that this could spread through downtown Jamestown to help beautify the rest of the city and bring other businesses to the area. And it starts with infrastructure. If your infrastructure looks good and is appealing, that's the impetus for others to come and join you.
For sure. Well, I guess was the thought with that county executive to have the employees park in those two proposed lots with the possible additional parking lot, or for citizens to use those lots?
We'll figure that out as we get through. There's some other opportunities for other parking for county employees as this evolves. Worst case, the very worst case is we still maintain some in the city parking lot as it is. We pull all out, the city's gonna lose revenue.
Well, and obviously, you know, my thought to it is it's unfortunate to the city to lose revenue, but if we're gonna look at a cost increase, we'll gain some by not having to reimburse 100 employees parking to park downtown.
That's the goal. It's a strategic goal as we move forward, trying to get everybody into these places, spaces.
And-
rather.
You know, as you talk about, one thing I found out when I owned and operated Movie World, we ranked 25th in the country. We had the largest video store in the country at 16,500 square feet in Cleveland. And on opening day, we had 7,000 people there. And one thing I've learned in my business life is that the facilities that you operate matter. It sets the tone for your employees. And we found that if we had nice, appealing stores, the employees wanted to come there and work. They wanted to stay with us. They weren't anxious, oh, I'm going to jump ship and go somewhere else. So that's what we are thinking here, which may happen with the county. We think that your retention of employees may be better off, and that other qualified candidates will want to come to the county and work.
Yeah, no, I agree. I commend you guys on the work. 3 years ago, we had taken this tour, and we had kind of said Dunkirk area is our role model of what the South County needs to and should look like at some point, and to combine spaces and make people's county business much more accessible and doable in one shot, you know, especially with the continued thought to look at our carts hub across the street there. And we have some space in City Hall, which is right across the road. I think the location is a perfect idea. I guess one of my other, hopefully the last questions is, is the county taking on the price for the fit out as we have done in the past? Or does that fall on the developers on top of our rent costs, if that makes sense?
Some of these spaces that we're looking to occupy right now, there's very little build out that'll take place. So we're still negotiating that in the lease rate, but the idea is it should be reflected into the rate. But
So if I may, the call center occupied this entire area here on the second floor, plus this area in through here. Apparently they got a grant to do all their reconstruction. And when they left it in fantastic condition. So in regards to the heating and air conditioning systems, the lighting, the flooring, the walls, everything is in really good shape. So I think that once everything falls into place, the county can get in there with the facilities individuals and start seeing how either cubicles or walls can be put up, but it's in really good shape and it has a generator. So it is in occupancy type shape. So I think in regards to the amount of money to be spent might be minimal once they start laying everything out.
One of the things beneficial, as he said, there's already existing offices for privacy, there's open space, open floor concept. You'll see in the center there between, there's office space for both sides. So, you know, as Jeff said, it is almost turnkey, with the exception of us moving our individuals there and getting, you know, spaces and put together. But
And one other thing I'd like to comment on, which I was kind of blown away, I really like computers, so when they first came out, being a man of advanced years, I studied them, I tore them apart, wanted to figure out how they worked, right? And so one of the things, the spaces I wanted to walk through was the data. Where's all the data center? How is it wired? How does it configure? I gotta tell you, this is wired really nice. First class, they did the racking right, they did the caging right for the entire facility. It's ready and wired for high-speed internet.
the county had existing space in here already, so the county does have a data footprint, IT footprint in the facility already.
Has there been any discussion with the Jamestown schools? Because they own the park across the street. They bought it from the city years ago. Do you have additional parking there?
You know, there's a lot of things that we did think about. As I mentioned, we're looking at different facilities in the area to purchase in case we need it for overflow. We looked at the vacant park, or I shouldn't say vacant park. We looked at the park for additional parking. There's a few things that when I visited the mayor's office, I will set an appointment with her. I did stop by just because we were in the area a couple times, but I need to make an appointment. So there's a lot of different things that we are looking at to be able to accommodate not just the county, but the area in regards to getting it, because if we're going to make an investment, this kind of investment in Jamestown, by purchasing the property and doing what needs to be done for the county, I think it's natural for us to look around at existing buildings, existing facilities to see how we can facilitate and make the area a little bit better.
Well, the history of that park was it was a city park, and all the kids walked across the street to smoke, so the school bought it for $1, and now they can't smoke on school property.
Well, you know, I understand the story because I heard it, and I want to be able to tell you that I can't wait to meet with the mayor.
Well, this happened years ago.
Well,
Previous mayor.
thank you again for that input, but
But I just
I'm
hate to
exci-
lose that park. It's because a lot of kids go over there they have classes outside when it's nice
That's what we
out.
heard.
They
That's
walk
what we
across the
heard.
street.
That's what we heard. You know, it's a park and kids hang out there, and so, you know what, again, it's just a lot of different things that we thought about, and if we could do certain things like that for the expansion, if in the event something does come along in regards to the county needing the other 20,000 square feet, taking the entire building, we're gonna make sure that we're gonna be there to accommodate the county to make that happen.
You know, when there is a problem in Dunkirk, we act with a sense of urgency. So I want to go back to movie world. Every time I opened a new store somewhere, I was always nervous. Is this store going to make it? Right? And then when I sold to Viacom, parent company of Blockbuster, and went into real estate development, I thought those worries would be over, but they weren't. Every tenant that we have, we want them to be successful, and I worry about every single tenant.
It's our nature. That's part of development. Like I said, tenants became customers, and how you treat your customers is the only way you're going to grow.
In this instance, I appreciate the county being looked at as customers, and in our instance, we have to look at as our residents as our customers, if you will, as they're ultimately the ones that are going to be paying for this facility. And in the meantime, if we sign on to this, we'll be paying for 4 facilities in Jamestown until we completely get the changeover. Do you guys have a timeline and the thought as to, I guess, when you think you'll be closed on the property and actually own it, and then when we would be able to start the planning phases of moving in and getting things resituated?
We have our attorneys.
Jeff's been working on the timing.
We have our attorneys that are working on it as if time is of the essence. We understand what the county's needs are, and we're just trying to fulfill that obligation, and time is of the essence. We want to be able to do it, and we're committed. We already put down a huge deposit, so time is burning, and with the next step is to have the legal department for the county work on the lease, because that's a very important part naturally in regards to moving this forward.
Okay. Within the lease, it discusses that you guys are responsible for utilities, including heat, electric. Hate that we even have to bring this up, but by air conditioning, when the building completely goes down and it's 90 degrees and we have our human services department shutting the lights off because it's too hot in there, are you guys going to?
That's what makes us so good.
That's not going to happen with us.
We understand the state of urgency. Being and doing what we've done for 40 years each, we understand it. And we have people and we have great contractors that are able to come in and do whatever they need to do to make things happen. That's our goal. And if you take a look at how the structure of the lease in regards to, it's not only utilities, it's not only the maintenance part, but it's also the taxes we're responsible for, the insurance, the common area maintenance. The common area maintenance that includes snow and ice removal. And God knows do I know, it snows in Jamestown. I gotta tell you. So, you know, all that, I wanna say it's full service. The only thing that we separated from the lease is the interior cleaning. The county would be responsible for their own interior cleaning for their area. But we would still be responsible for interior common areas such as vestibules, the elevators, things like that for the remaining tenants in the building.
Okay.
So when we're dealing with tenants, we deal with, you know, S&P 500 tenants. These are national tenants. Dollar Tree, Advanced Auto, Tractor Supply, Aldi. We've done deals with the VA. So it's a compliment when the head of real estate for Dollar Tree and Advanced Auto or Aldi's picks up the phone and says, "Hey Joe, you're in this area. What do you think of this location? What do you think of this? What do you think of that?" You know, because they know that in order for my business, when I was in the movie world business, we had to outposition our competitors, right? And that's what some of these companies are looking for. So I think I take that as a feather in our cap that they call us and ask us for advice.
Well, I'm done questioning. I have faith that the law department will take this on and follow it through to the best of their ability. I want to thank you both for putting this together for us and taking the time to care and invest for the county as a whole and to be prepared to come to the legislature. I'm sure I'll see you again later in this week. And thank you to County Executive Wendell for doing the work behind the scenes. And I'm sure the Buildings and Grounds are very glad to see this come to life and hopes that their phones will stop vibrating for once after hours. But does anybody else in the committee have questions at this point?
Kind of. I don't know if we have the answer. I don't have the answer. How many spots are we leasing right now downtown compared to what we're gonna not have to lease when we earned almost 80 parking spots.
We technically have 4 leases, don't we, between the 3 buildings and then City Hall?
Yeah, but I couldn't answer that as far as how many we pay for at the parking garage. I have no, off the top of my head, John or Carmelo, John Anderson would probably be able to give you a better idea as to what that number is.
Thank you.
You know, I can't promise what happens in the future. But I like to extrapolate where we are and where we're going and how can we get there. And as we look at buildings in the area, we understand at some point they're gonna come for sale. And that is gonna afford us an opportunity to expand parking and expand facilities if needed.
I agree. Guess with that being said, and no further questions, do I have a motion for this resolution for the lease agreement between Third Ventures LLC?
You want a what?
Do we have a motion for it?
For the resolution?
Correct. All in favor?
Oh, you want to vote on the resolution?
Correct.
I thought you wanted a motion to have the resolution. We have the resolution.
We do have the resolution. Do I have a motion to say aye on the resolution? Is that better, Bob?
We're voting on it?
Maybe we're not. It's on here twice, so. We don't vote on discussions, but we do vote on resolutions, so I'll look at Elizabeth or Chairman for guidance.
You do need to vote on the
We're voting.
resolution, yes.
So all in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? All in favor, carried. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you being here and giving us the support going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for coming. That brings us to the end of the agenda for the Public Facilities Committee meeting. Does anybody else on the committee have anything for the good of the order?
No. Motion to adjourn.
Let's seek a motion to adjourn. We have a motion and a second, and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.